You think if I were to build land through the lake, I could use that kind of deep water area for a bit of fishing? Just make like I don't know, it's like a path up and just kind of loosely draw it. I feel like I wouldn't be getting so much more usable, fishable area, but generally for some of the bigger lakes and stuff that you can get, I don't know if it would populate with fish or not. I feel like it should, but I don't know if it would. They're still working on the road up here, heading northeast. They're just about done with it, though. We can start kind of planning out, you know, something with it. Research, we do finally have enough. We can get sithilon mine. Haha. And then afterwards, I'm not really sure. I think we should probably step back and do some of the basics, get like the stage going for a bit of happiness, or maybe we just work straight for the tavern slash temple. It's a lot for the temple, but we do have the prerequisite. Because faith is generally just a thing that quite a lot of people need slash want. Probably go for that next. I'm not sure if we'll have enough research for it, but hey, we can try it. A recent update has come out and changed the way that like ores and minerals are displayed, so it's a bigger image. It's also a bit brighter because of the background when it's denser. Really nice change. Strong approve. This is nice. I can like very clearly see what's what, because before it was kind of a mess, really. Where are we at? Like it, especially in the darker areas. Like now I can really easily see where the denser, more important areas are to be mining. Very good. I like that a lot. There was also some work done for the sieges. I'm pretty sure the attack that I had, a few things went wrong with that behind the scenes. It sounds like there was a few updates to fix that and make that a bit more less busted, let's say. You know what? Just that whole block and then this little bit and and then God, that's 33 workers already though. Like really just it's like this section, 60% deposits. And if I just did this, 97% deposits. Yeah. 87, 83, 84, 83, 85. With 5 workers. It's not a whole lot. 0.1 production. Lol. Yeah, no, we'll go back to how it was pretty much. Just kind of block that off. Oof, the snow. Goodness. Jesus, this snow is like... Wow, that's more snow, I think, than what we ever had before. Let's let that pass. Okay, here we go. Holy crap. 20 workers, 55% deposits, 0.54 production, 100% efficiency. A little bit of storage down there by the road. I'm happy with that. 44 stone, 44 furniture. Quite easily done. We're actually capped with furniture right now. Then extend our road a bit. We're almost here. And then we can do, yeah, housing and stuff. Probably not right next to it because I've got food and stuff to worry about. There was the Ankhs there to hunt. Globedines, I think, there to hunt. They're mostly just eggs, I think it was. I'm not sure what those are, like a caribou type thing. So generally some hunting over here. There's the clay pit if we want to get more clay. So I think we set up housing over here somewhere. Give me some of that daytime. There we go. All the wood strewn across the pathway because we cut through trees. Oh, man. Gatehouse. Wonder... I need proper metal for that, but that's something that we can do pretty soon. I would just wonder how soon I should be doing that, because then we can get fortifications up and stairways like up onto the walls, and I have to get archery range, and then I gotta make the tools, and there's some work to be done for that. A general warehouse will be needed. I think that's everything. Bit of a mess. We've got storage on the right. That's the dirt path. The hunter. 6 dormitories, I think it is. The smallest one. We've got a hearth, the well, latrine, and eatery. And then the janitor is down here somewhere. I've got rocks being collected off to the right. Wood is just spewing everywhere. I think we're okay. Food-wise is still a slight concern, but I think considering fertility, we can see about like doing that canal thing that I mentioned to see if that does much for us. But it could be we just have to get I don't know, like 2 or 3 hunters maybe. Play it by ear and see. The wild harvestables were not so great and definitely not so close. We'd have to just make a trip out to get the veg and tell them not to eat veg and then make sure it gets used up for the farm and go from there. But we can bring up some fish from down south. We can bring... that's kind of all that we're eating. It's just meat and fish, isn't it? We'll see. But I think that's the basics up here done and set. Check with them later. How are we doing for furniture? Can we throw them in people's houses? Since we're not like regularly consuming it, the lab is set up. We can max that out, I think. Authorized to 175. I think I can get away with throwing at least 1 furniture inside. If we end up getting the stone mine like going kind of proper, then maybe we can maybe it's not really that great here at all. The coal also, it's a little bit rough to see the coal, but yeah, I don't know, man. Like it's so many deposits but not dense. So whenever I get like a good, I don't know, 400 Dondorians, we can maybe do just like a big mine where 80 people are working this one mine and the output's okay, kind of, sort of. It does that like fall off thing when you have more people assigned to it. So it's like more is always better, but there's diminishing returns, and I don't know if the diminishing returns will offset. Interesting. It doesn't actually simulate the sparks going. I think it just changes the emitter type or something, and it just turns into noise on the faster speeds. Interesting. So I don't know. We'll have to see what we do for the stone. I think for now it's okay. It might slow us down a little bit not having so much stone until we get like a lot of people to work those mines. It seems like that's just like a general problem that I'm always going to have with this, is figuring out how to accumulate enough metals and ores and stuff, because the world generation is pretty stingy with that type of thing. I'm hoping the sithilon takes off well enough that we can just get through it, which I'll also need an export depot at some point when they get set up. I'll leave them for the moment, though. They've got enough on their plate. There's a lot queued up here. It should certainly be enough to staff, like, I don't know, 20, 30 people up here. Enough for now. They'll eventually become more of their own community as time goes on, but that's going to be a little while. For now, I just want to get a little bit of sithilon generating in the background. And then research-wise, there were some pretty basic things that we could be getting for fairly cheap. Not sure if that's still the case. Like crafting pottery. How... that's actually a good question. How decent was the clay up here? I know it wasn't like fantastic and I've kind of built over it because I'm dumb. Yeah, let's move the warehouse. And then we can delete these jobs. And now the hunter is just... It is noise, the screen right now. Oh my god. These snowstorms are intense. There we go. I feel like the storm density can be maybe tweaked in options somewhere. I think that'd be a good thing. Because this is it's a little much. I'm sure some people might appreciate the like massive amount of particles to like really feel like they're in a blizzard, but me personally, nah. This game is updating like a lot, by the way, like pretty quick. If anybody's like, oh, I don't know, maybe I wait for it to be improved a bit, you might not be waiting too long. So that's something. 29 workers, 17% deposits. Ugh. But what you gonna do? 26 workers, 54 stone, 54 furniture, 11.5 production. Seems a bit high. So we're gonna lop off that bit on the right. And then I probably don't need... Yeah, I don't need nearly as much auxiliary now. That's already the plus 0.5 I need. So we'll throw it there. And storage, don't need a whole lot of storage because storage is right next door, effectively. 17 workers, 7 production, 42 stone, 42 furniture. That's a little more reasonable. All right. And then with that, we can maybe see about then doing pottery. Pottery being a cool side thing for the efficiency boost for some buildings, like the comfiness for the rest home, and I think bakery probably still needs it. Not that we have wheat and all that and can do the bread. I think maybe ration maker as well, which we could do ration making. Because our meat and fish spoils so quick, so maybe we just like eat the fish, but the meat we preserve into rations? Not sure. It's an option though. We got a little bit of clay production happening up there now. Gems are going to be a long while. Health might actually be something worth taking a look at one day. Coal we were okay on. So we can look into doing the metal smelter soon. Raw ore and coal, and then smithy with the metals proper. Brewing. I feel like brewing needed, I think that was like opium generally. Yeah, I think maybe I save up for temples next. With this fully staffed 1.8 thousand knowledge, we've allocated 1.1 thousand, so really only 700 or so is left. Temples, we need 1,200, so we need to get more lab in, which I think I'll just literally duplicate this building. And next door. I think I'd be okay with that. and refurbish. Doorways there still. So it's kind of like a really big research room. Maybe. Extreme temps again. You know what? You don't have to tell me about it. I'm just gonna assume every winter is a record low as we slowly frostpunk ourselves into death. Incoming sawdust meals. I got the wood for it. I'm ready. So regarding furniture, I know we're using like all of it right now. Consuming just 31 wood. I get the feeling I could have way more carpentry going on. I feel like it's really cheap to make furniture. It doesn't cost that much wood, but it does take a lot of time and employment. Wondering if I get another one set up. We have 16 odd jobbers still, for the moment. We could duplicate this. Yeah, you know what? Right there still works. That's still fine. You're complaining about stone. Which, yeah. I know. Ugh. There was some... I kind of like that view, actually. It was a nice, simpler view. It ain't too bad. Tons of stone here to accumulate. It's not the most convenient to reach ever, but I think they can still manage. There's just some delirious dude going around. We got a lot of insane people. 6 deranged folks. I don't know what's causing them to be deranged. It seems like there's just a lot of that happening. They'll eventually die, but it makes me kind of want to consider getting an asylum to keep down on it, but the asylum's another 700. They also have to be fed with rations, so I'd have to get the ration maker set up. Nothing is straightforward and easy here. How much do we care about light? A bit. Kinda, sort of. It also contributed to safety. Because that's another pretty cheap research, lighting, just 300. Could do rations, turn some meat into rations. And then we can see about the asylum, I guess. Lighting. Yeah, I don't know. A new level. We're a sheriff. Locals now recognize me as their rightful ruler and as such now free to dictate laws for them. Neighbors are a bit more willing to trade crucial materials you can't produce at home, and a powerful noble, the first of many God's willing, joins your house to oversee affairs you deem worthy. At 150 people, you can have 2 nobility, a bit of a bartering boost, a little bit of a happiness boost, guard post dungeons, scaffolds, slavers, courts, and stocks unlocked. Okay. Cool. Don't have to research any of that, huh? Law, dungeon, scaffolds. Where caught criminals and other prisoners are taken for public execution. Great for deterring crime, spread fear amongst your subjects. Consider placing it at central location for maximum efficiency, as well as keeping it maintained and manned. The slaver, where caught criminals and other prisoners are taken for temperament of their new career. Slaves. Stocks. Criminals and unwanted rabble sent to the stocks where they can feel ashamed for 2 seasons before they've served their punishment. A cheap and effective punishment for crimes. Make sure they're placed in crowded areas so subjects get the pleasure of throwing manure and stones at them. And the court, but I need gems for that. Metal for the stock, metal for the slaver. Dungeon needs metal, of course. Guard post needed armor, which I can make makeshift armor still, probably. Gives prisoners a chance to plead their case in a trial before sentencing. Improves justice and has a chance to free the prisoner after processing. Okay, so it's kind of leaning me a little bit towards getting metal around 150. We can consider that. Chambers for royalty. I never messed much with royalty. I know they need chambers / want chambers. I'm not sure how much they care about not having them. And then tailor need leather / cloth. Cloth is locked behind research, so we can just straight up use leather right away to make clothing. But we don't get leather because we just simply don't get leather. And Telodons don't give any leather. So we'd have to change the Entelodons over to something else. But then we don't get nearly as much meat. So I think leather just has to wait a while. Man, there's like, you need just everything all the time in this game. I need all of it. At some point, you just got to accept that you're not going to have something and just hope that they don't mind too much. I think that's just how it goes. The hunter that I've got, we're... yeah, just doing meat because they're just going for the Baltic crawlers out there. Still a decent amount of Baltic crawlers. If we were to be doing meat hunting, or leather hunting rather, that'd be not even onks, that's sheep, or cloth. Or ox. I guess I should change my farm over to something that can produce leather instead of just meat. Entelodons was 1.05 meat, 0.04 animals, 0.5 meat. Yeah, it's half as much meat, but it does give leather. Or we go onks, which is 0.75 meat, 0.75 cloth, or cotton rather, and also 0.06 animals. Onks would not be bad, but if we're doing onks, then we have to be able to turn cotton into cloth, which is not crafting, it'd be a refining, I think. The crude weaver. Animal fiber turned to soft and strong bolts of vibrant cloth. Let's do that while food is still okay. Like... but not Entelodon. Auroch. And then... can I plan on top of it? Do you mind? What if I plan over here? Can I copy a plan? Yeah, okay, I can copy a plan. So then we will delete this room. Then copy the plan over, but with planning turned off. And we're doing onks. Right there. And then that all gets deleted. Okay. Switched over. So then cloth can also go here. Yeah, 1 crate of livestock. Couple crates of cloth. It's about all I can fit, actually. Might be worth having this warehouse slightly bigger. Now employ over 25 carpenters. Oh, hey, yeah, the building finished off. Combined experience boosting performance by 10%. Next at 100. I like that that's a thing. But it... I don't know. I was gonna say it's like a rich get richer type thing where it just kind of snowballs, but I guess it's fine. Bring the implement down to 16. We'll go 16 for now because we're using a lot of furniture. One crate livestock will still be fine. And then kind of sort of half and half the others, except stockpile more meat than cotton. That should be all right. Meat, cotton, livestock. Yeah, that'll be all right. So this is now, we'll just call it just, animal farm or pasture, really. And just one person is plenty fine for that. General, we can try auto-employ. Maybe. Cautiously. Because I think we need to do that. I'm still having a strong consideration in having a general wood and stone warehouse set up. Maybe off in the corner here. Like, just those materials. So I never have to worry about not having a base material shortage. But at the same time, well, I could always pull from it then if I want to do the backroom thing. But like you see here, the furniture people are going up to these crates to get the materials. There's just like one or two people from, I think it's the workshop, that go and collect the materials and bring them in. So that's why I want to try the backroom thing. For things that require just baseline materials like wood, basic stone, I think it's okay to have a backroom. A little more complicated when we start getting to cut stone. But even then, if we're getting enough cut stone, I don't see why not. Something like that. So they've got... This is a bit larger than what I would anticipate having, but I'm thinking this just turns into a general wood stockpile, so I can take it out from there, and then we can just, you know, pull from it wherever. But doorway up to the street, so they can still access, and yeah, I think I'd like to get a doorway here then as well, just so they can more easily access that. Just a single door there. Doesn't have to be anything wild. Easy peasy, the people are temporarily fired. It's alright. Our employment looks pretty bad right now. What's happening with that? Auto-employ for onks because may as well. This pasture is just set to 1. This warehouse, still thinking 5. We may have gotten... Nope, needs stone. We're still waiting on all of that. Okay, I'm not sure where the employment is gone. Oh, that might be part of it. Over 25 employed in laboratories as a result. A boost. It seems to be just across the board. So I was like 1 short, annoyingly. We'll bring this down to 16. 24 and 16. 40 overall researchers. 9 odd jobbers remain. They're fully staffed. You're still just partly staffed. Furniture is still going into housing. We'll have to keep an eye on that later and see how that's actually going. Because I still got furniture set to be put in housing. Warehouse will be just 1 person. It is pure wood. Maybe I can put a bit of furniture in. furniture and wood. And then I don't need any wood really in here at all. We can put more clay, more meat is being stored down there, so I don't really need that. Just more of the oddball things, really. Some coal. I guess a crate of sithilon. Good luck. Furniture's already being brought over. Eventually fabric. Metal, pottery, I guess, and like cut stone. I don't know. We're not full up on anything else, so it's just a bit of spare space. It's 1622. Yeah, okay. Bump this up to 200 people. We like nobles. I just... Give free drinks, hand out declared day off. Elevate you to be the master of farms, handles our farms and boosts their yield 10% across the board, including opiate 10%, which is great because the opiate output is already minus 0.9 by default based on the cold biome. So I wonder if that would add this on and bring it up to 0.8 or plus 10% of the remaining 10%, so plus 1%. The way that this is reading out, it seems like base output is minus 0.90. This will plus 0.1, thereby we're minus 0.80. I would think. Narcocrat, ruthless opiate noble who will stop at nothing to boost production of opiate poppies. Free citizens benefit from their instruction. Their slaves fear them. Damn, plus 0.25 opiate farms. The Feast Master. Boosting productivity, alcohol producing buildings and savory snacks, breweries, bakeries, ration makers, big boost. Textiles, cotton farms, weavers, industry. Just a bunch of stuff. The refinery. Forge 15%, jewelers, tailors for fashions, herdmaster, labs, library. Oh, headmaster. Labs, libraries, and paper makers. Slave master for 0.15 submission. 0.5 per submission on this. Carpenter's carry capacity, robustness. Ensure everything constructed with quality, reducing degradation. Also in charge of carpenters and their fine carts and wheelbarrows, improve carry capacity of haulers. Yo. Mines, 15%. Treasurer, sithilon mines, gem mines. Stonemason for stones. Livestock overall plus 0.2. Yeah, okay. Hunting plus 0.5. Masturbator. You couldn't resist, could you? God damn it. Fisheries plus 0.25 though. That's a pretty nice, simple, immediately helps us. It's kind of one of our main food things right now. Treasurer would be a pretty cool thing as well. Let's try Masturbator. Christopher Fox. Since you're a fancy one, we're gonna rename you Azuranos. Welcome. Taking from the Patreon 15 tier because I don't think we're gonna be getting a whole lot of names if I'm just going with nobles, so we'll go for the high tier for folks. Azuranos. Rats. You're also a favorite, so maybe it's a bit easier to keep track of you. 77-year-old dreamy Dondorian noble, serving at my pleasure as a masturbator. Yeah. General health is good. Height, 5.4 Taith, but Klein being measured for weight. Fighter are... Just fighter are some of the traits this individual is described with. Not yet been shopping for a home, but will look for one soon. Not enlisted in armed forces. Workday's over. Subject currently enjoying leisure time that your majesty is so generously providing. Reportedly spends a lot of time with Tantem Gurbooks, a Dendorian scientist in the southwest part of the city. Has always dreamt of being a guard. This is a really detailed and like live updating description thing. Feels I can do better as a ruler. Quite a bit better, to be honest. More housing is urgently needed. Cannot sleep on the street like a beggar. I think that's because you don't have like a noble house thing. Would like to be a lot more clothes, more jewelry. We don't know jewelry, nor do we know arenas. But a lot of people complain about arenas and also clothing. I'm kind of working on the clothing. Arenas I can consider. But I feel like you guys would like a temple a lot more. And maybe also some doctors. At some point as well. Right. Okay. Yeah, sure. Fine. There was somewhere I was able to see nobles and all of that. What are we doing with this? Arrested without a cause by my guards to be processed in law facilities according to my settings. Prosecuted subjects will become very unhappy and might revolt. I can just do general prosecution just across the board. So we just like 10 Dondorians. What? Daily? Monthly? Just a one-time thing? Just at random? Or here's just 40 free drinks. Haha. Monetary handouts. Okay. I think those are just like general one-off quick boost things. Where is the nobility? Can be appointed to boost different aspects of the game. Appoint a noble clicking subject. And there's a little winged button there. Nobles will be very expanded upon in the future, so this is very work in progress. You do need like a fancy house though. I'm fairly sure, right? Because like we can look into that. The finest of subjects requires a lot of work to maintain. And yet, it just generally requires that stuff. So yeah, you're gonna have to continue being homeless, in quotes. So I'm not convinced. Yeah, I guess we do need more houses, huh? Yeah, we do have like 200 population, though. Okay. Yeah, fine. Alright. Alright. Calm down. Another longhouse down there. Build out the roads, because I kind of forgot to do that. Whoops. And then another couple longhouses and dormitories up here, I think it is. Or maybe just houses. One of those. Something like that. And already 25, 27. Did we get more people in here? Okay, only 6 employment. That didn't skyrocket as much as I thought it would. I suppose because it's not actually set to hold, like, so much stuff. What if I employ just, like, 6 people here for now? Just to help get things caught up. It seems like a lot of the wood is already off the streets. I do not want slaves. Although... it's tempting to get some Cretonian slaves. I'll be honest, they're very slave-worthy, I feel. I feel like they're a nice default slave for most factions.